Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video on the best gaming monitors you can find in 2016/2017. Now I should mention before getting into this video, I am not sponsored, I am not paid, I am totally independent in terms of a reviewer. I should however mention that I have only gotten certain monitors for review, and these are the monitors that I have mentioned in this roundup. They can also be monitors that I've purchased myself or that I've come across or tested. The reason I'm saying this is because you often find people who have got ulterior motives when it comes to their sort of roundups, and that's not the case for me. But nevertheless, there are other options out there, so make sure you do some more research even after watching this video in order to find the best monitor for you. I'll be listing down monitors here from £100 to £1,000, so pretty much I'm covering the whole range, and in order to make a fully rounded description of what monitor you can get for gaming. If you're interested on what panel technology are, because I will be mentioning sort of different panel technologies but not really explaining them as much, check out my other video. There'll be a link in the description below, the first link in there, and that will give you a better description of what monitors are and what you should look out for in monitors. If you're looking for any of these links, by the way, links will be down in the description below. Make sure you check them out. I'll link them down and give their little description of what they have and what I'm mentioning right here in this roundup. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now first of all, I have got the AOC G2260 VWQ6. This is a £100 1080p monitor. It's found for it does 75 Hz. It's got TN display and it's got 21.5 inch overall screen size. It also has AMD FreeSync in there. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger at 24 inch, you've got the AOC G2460 VQ6. This can be found for £110 to £140. In my opinion, that is the better buy, but sourcing it can be a little bit harder to find. If you want something a little bit better, it's 144 Hz. Taking all the same sort of technology, 1080p, TN, 24 inch FreeSync 1 millisecond response time, you've got the 144 Hz AOC G2460PF. Now this is when gaming gets a bit more serious because you've got that 144 Hz, and therefore you're going to be looking for a £200 to £220 price category. Now I should bear in mind that you've got the variant of the AOC 2460PF, which is the PG version. As far as I'm aware, it's called the G2460PG. That has a not AMD FreeSyncs, but it has NVIDIA's G-Sync in there. So if you're looking for 144 Hz G-Sync monitor with the same sort of specifications, the PG version will be more accustomed to you, and it will be £300 to £340. That's a fantastic gaming monitor, given it's 1080p. I think it's one of the best 1080p monitors out there. Now if you're looking to make the leap from 1080p to 1440p, it's one leap I took about 2 years ago, and I've never looked back since. Pixels look so much better. Now the monitor I had at the time was the Cunix QX2710. There's a 1440p monitor that is factory 60 Hz, but can be overclocked to about 110 to 120 Hz. It is a PLS panel, 27 inch, with a quoted response time of 5 to 8 milliseconds, and can be found for a ridiculous £230 to £330. The problem with this monitor is the fact that you have to look for the single input monitor, not the multi-input monitor, because that doesn't have the same overclocking abilities. Unfortunately, when I looked on eBay, I could hardly find the Cunix monitor available at that price anymore, and it was quite hard to source anyway. It often came from South Korea because that's where the monitors were made, but if you can find yourself that monitor for casual gaming, it is a fantastic, and it's hands down the best monitor out there for casual gaming. If you're looking for a monitor which is slightly better than that Cunix monitor, you've got the Crossover 2795QHD. It has the exact same specifications, however, it's easier to source, it's got a better stand, and it also has PWM flicker free. In other words, it causes less strain on the eye. So look for that monitor as well, again found pretty much at the same price tag of $230 to $330 depending on where you source it. Problem with buying these Korean monitors is, one, they're imported from Korea, you might have the chance of a dead pixel, but problems of getting it are way outweighed by the benefits of getting it, especially at the price range. Next up, you've got the AOC Aegon AG241QX, and you've got the AG271QX as well. Now, the only difference between the two is the size. One is 24 inch and the other one is 27 inch. Both monitors are 144OP, have 144 Hz, they have a TN display inside, and they're both FreeSync capable. You can get the variant of it which has a G-Sync module within it, but again it's a much more expensive price. The 24 inch can be found from anything from £320 to £390, and the 27 inch one can be found from anything from £400 to £480. These are fantastic monitors and have got fantastic build quality, and the monitors I would suggest. Next up is my personal baby, the Acer Predator XB270HU. Now this monitor is absolutely fantastic. It is one of my favourite monitors I've ever come across. It's the monitor that hits the sweet spot for everything you want. It's 144OP, it's 144 Hz, but unlike the AOC A-Gold monitor, it's got an IPS display, meaning it's much more accurate in terms of its colours. It's 27 inch and has FreeSync. You can find the G-Sync version of it, which is a lot more expensive, like £650, and they both have 4 millisecond response time. This one that I'm mentioning is very hard to find now. It seems to have been discontinued, but it's £400 when I bought it, and that's sort of the price range you should be looking for. The newer Acer Predator XB271HU is more expensive, but also runs, I think, 165 Hz. So make sure you check that out. In fact, I can just double check that just to be sure. No, it runs 144 Hz, but yeah, it's just a newer version of it. Then sorry, the version I was mentioning before is the XF270HU. That is the non-G-Sync version of the monitor. XB is with it, XF is without G-Sync. Next up, you got 4K gaming at a budget price. Now, I wouldn't really recommend 4K gaming, but given its price, I think the ViewSonic XG2700 4K is a fantastic 4K monitor. It runs at 4K at 60 Hz, has an IPS display, 27 inch, FreeSync, 5 millisecond response time, £400 to £500. It's one of the cheapest 4K displays you'll find out there, and it's one that I would definitely suggest. Keeping with the brand of ViewSonic, you've got the XG2703GS. Now this is a 144OP monitor that runs at 165 Hz, has an IPS type, which is AHVA within it, can be found for 27 inch and is a G-Sync monitor. It also can be found for 4 milliseconds response time. This monitor is very expensive. It can be found for £750, but nevertheless it's a fantastic monitor to have if you're looking for that extra step over the Acer and the AOC monitors. This gives you the G-Sync capabilities and also that slight extra hertz in terms of refresh rate. I wouldn't say the extra hertz makes a massive difference, at least not to my eyes. But the fact that it has G-Sync within it is probably, is why you're paying the extra price difference. But nevertheless, make sure you check your options. Identical to that ViewSonic I mentioned is the Asus ROG Swift PG279Q. Same technology, same things inside, except this is purely IPS, at least that's what's displayed. But that can be found between £690 and £750. Finally, the big baby is the Acer Predator X34A Curved 3440 x 144OP display, runs at 100 Hz, has an IPS, is 34 inch, has G-Sync, 4 milliseconds at a whopping £1,000. So those are the monitors I would recommend for 2016-2017. They're some of the best monitors I found on the market today, at least in my opinion and from my tested experience. As I said, there's probably other monitors out there that you can buy, but these are the monitors, which is a pretty big list, that I would recommend from any sort of price range. If you're a gamer, I'm sure you'd be looking to invest in a good monitor, and I would say the sweet spot in gaming nowadays is 144OP at 144 Hz with an IPS display, but unfortunately not many people have £400, £500 to spend, so I can understand them spending for a 1080p monitor instead. Anyway guys, hopefully this guide helps you out. Make sure you give it a like, comment and subscribe. Favourite and share if you want to see more, and definitely for your friends and family. And anyway guys, take care and let me know in the comments below what you would suggest. Bye bye.